title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Let's go! 190!
They go play action here on first down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long.
Let's go! 190!
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still third and long.
Here we go! Brand 38!
Operating from the gun. Jones, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
On fourth down, here comes a Steeler punter, Jordan Berry, to kick it away. Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And what a sophomore season he had for the Cardinals. Pretty much swept every major quarterback award, including the Heisman Trophy. And we spend a lot of time talking about his legs. Formidable. He can run the ball like few others, but the key to everything for him is the ability to be accurate from the pocket.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their 36-yard line.
All right, here we go.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
All right, here we go.
And here's Marshall. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. This offense can be flashy at times, and a big reason for that is Perriman.
I like the way you use the word big, because that's exactly what Brashad Perriman is. A big receiver with a ton of speed. Runs so well, yet that strength downfield really confounds defensive backs. Is it okay if I tell you I played against his dad in college?
Well, I'm just impressed that you worked confounds into the broadcast.
I'm impressed I'm still alive because I played against his dad in college.
Lucky 56.
On third down, Jackson. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? Well, they're on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
Becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Let's go.
On second down, it's fouled. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to throw. Johns. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On second down, here's Jackson. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Jackson from the shotgun. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. This is fielded at the 27. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Throwing to start the drive. Jones, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And now it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go. Grand 38.
From the gun, Johns. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Cameron Hayward able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now Jackson on second down. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Set. Green 39.
To throw on third down. Jackson. Man open. That's Damian Ratley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. 319. 319. Gun.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That is caught. It's Perriman. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Perriman, 44 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerves showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
The give is to Bell. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
To throw is Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Marshall. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively.
Gone!
On second down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson operating from the gun. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here we go! One!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Looking to throw on second down. Johns, he's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go!
After the interception, here's Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Now, Jack, Patriot!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a handoff looking right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here we go now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for second down.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Gone.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
No. Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot.
Now Marshall. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
On third down, Jackson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete as well.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out it's not the case.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
Throwing on 1st down. Johns. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here we go.
Throwing again. Johns looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Let's go. Brad 38.
To throw on 3rd down. Johns. And now another one thrown incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So 1:55 to go in the 1st half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never...
He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Here we go now. Blue line.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Steps away to his left. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Johns looking left side. He's got it complete. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Come on, let's go.
To throw on 2nd down, Johns. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Come on, let's go. Brad 38.
On 3rd and 2, Johns. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating 1st half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep for Perriman. It's caught inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hut.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this is caught at the end. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
All right, here we go.
Again, Jackson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Jackson. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Here we go.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This 4th and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. And it's the Houston Texans who are not done yet.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Hey, you got 3. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. And that'll be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gone!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Come on, let's go. What? 9. What?
Operating from the gun, Johns. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Come on, let's go. What? 9. What?
On 3rd down, Johns. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Let's go.
Off the play fake. Johns going top shelf for Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tim Williams not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some
Here we
space.
go.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bell. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you. Maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around. But the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. No, check, Patriot.
And they'll go on the ground. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now let's go. Green 39, green 39. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
To throw is Jackson. To throw on 2nd down. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On 1st down, Johns. And incomplete on the deep ball. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gardner. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a first down on that effort.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here we go.
Throwing on 1st down. Johns. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Let's go. Grand 38.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Come on, let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. Johns. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Jackson now looking to throw on second down. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Looking to throw. Johns. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Johns. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? we got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th.
Now let's go.
They'll run with Marshall. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
They get it to him running left. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Johns. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
To throw on second down. Johns. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Throwing after the interception. Johns, and he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Let's go. What? 90.
To throw again. Johns caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Johns. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go. What?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
No. Check. Patriot. right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Josh Jones in on the stop.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And they'll run it here. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Out to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here.
Let's go.
Jackson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that lead. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out come the Steelers. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 3rd and long. Johns. It's caught by Treadwell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup at 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taking it about the 16. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And now here come the Ravens. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Now let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Now let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.